There goes Princess Halo, angelic being, driving away from dropping us off at US Route, is this 60?
Route 60.
Route 60, not 66, but 60. Yes, I know we have one of those little running lights out. I know it. I got the bulbs in the console, I just haven't replaced it, so. Anyway. Alright, we are crossing Route 60. Taking our life into our own hands. And getting ready to climb out. Today is Thursday. Well, you know what? I'll stop and flip the camera around so you can check out what's going on. Alright, it is Thursday, June 8th. This morning, beautiful morning. It was 48 degrees at the campground this morning. Awesome hiking weather. We have a great big climb this morning that we're really looking forward to. And so it's nice to start that out early and fresh. I ended up not hiking yesterday afternoon. I don't know if it was allergies or what, but I just did not feel very good. In fact, I went back to the campground and took a nap, which never happens yet.
Trying to get a ride into town, or?
I have a ride.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, never happens. So, anyways, the trail go up this way?
This way.
Oh, right over here?
Yep.
Okay. Huh. I guess it just comes up through the grass here. It's kind of a weird spot, but let me turn. I love this. Oh, that's a neat. I'm going to have to take a picture of that. That's a cool sign and thing right there with the blaze on it. That's neat. I like that. All right, you know what? I'll take a picture and then I'll catch up to you in a few minutes. Tell you a little bit about what happened yesterday and start up today. All right, before I get too out of breath climbing this mountain, I figured I better fill you all in on exactly what's happening. So, Halo and the kids, actually, you saw Pristine went hiking with me yesterday, and the plan was to meet us about 11:45 back there where we started today at the US 60, of which she did. Halo was perfectly on time. We got there about 5 minutes before she did. She couldn't have worked out better. Allowed me to stretch and relax a couple minutes. So after that, we went into Buena Vista. I was mispronouncing it. It's not Buena. The locals call it Buena Vista. Went in there and had lunch. And I think you saw that. We went and dropped Dog off at the hotel. And then Halo took me back to the campground where her and the kids had set up, which is Mont Bella campground. Only about 1.5 miles off the AT. And so stayed last night there, and we're going to stay there tonight. So I was able to kind of slack pack today. I left all my gear there at the campsite. So I've just got some food for the day and all my personal stuff with me. I always take my contact stuff and, you know, that sort of thing, first aid kit and whatever. But I have no sleeping bag, no tent, no pad, and no extra food. I've got plenty of food for the day, but that's it. So anyway, all the kids were still sleeping. Halo picked me up, or took me back into Buena Vista. Went to Hardee's this morning for a pork-a-lips burrito and a sausage, egg, and cheese burrito. Had a delicious and nutritious filling breakfast to power me up this mountain. And then we went and picked up Dog, and she brought us back to the trail. And so now, doing the climb, feeling the burn. Good morning wake up climb. I know there's no, you can't tell how steep it is. It's pretty steep, pretty good. Good little wake up climb. So yeah, when I got to my plan was to keep hiking yesterday, do do this and go like 5-6 miles further and then let Halo pick me up. And then I could start with Pristine this morning. But when I got done yesterday and when we went into the restaurant, I just started feeling worse and worse. And it was almost like I felt the last few days, kind of just weak and tired and not feeling well. And I think maybe it's allergies, which I don't really have like allergies, but poor H2O and Gigi are just so stopped up. H2O can barely breathe, and here his head is so full. So Halo picked up some allergy medicine at the Dollar General, and we all took like one pill or whatever. And anyway, I went back to the camp and I actually took a nap, which I haven't done really in forever. And I slept, woke up and felt better. And anyway, had a good evening, had a fire last night and whatever. We were all in bed about 20 after 7. By like 8 o'clock, everybody was asleep, which is perfect hiker time for me. So yeah, slept okay. My Sea to Summit Arrows pillow has a hole in it. It's leaking air somewhere. And I'm so bummed about that. I've had that pillow for a while, and I know I didn't like pop it, so it just kind of failed somewhere. And the last 4 or 5 nights, it's leaked air. But last night, it was clear down to where there was like nothing left. A little bit on each side of my head is all. So I'm going to have to replace it. Anyway, yeah, everybody hopefully slept well. It seemed as though they were pretty quiet over there, which is good. And I slept well, so feel pretty good this morning. I was awful stiff today, but got limbered up pretty quick, and this hill will finish limbering me up for sure. So yeah, body feels well. Feet feel pretty good. I'm wearing my Injinji socks this morning. Space those toes out. I've worn Darn Toughs for about 4 days in a row, which usually I switch it up about every 2 days to keep my feet guessing. So they're doing okay. Everything feels pretty well. Somebody asked me about spiritually. How are you doing spiritually? And it's so different being out here on the trail than at home or in my office. Before, everything I did was always spiritually based. And now, it's like not at all. Other than oh boy. I don't know if there's a way to tell how steep. I'll show you when I get up here. I'll put the camera sideways and show you. This is steep. This is walking on the balls of your feet, because you can't. I can force my heel down, but barely. This is so steep. I have to, walk on the balls. If you've never climbed a hill that steep, you need to go find one, and you'll know what I mean. You can't really put your. I guess I can put my heel down, but it takes work. I'll show the camera sideways. Maybe that shows how steep it is. Anyway, so spiritually, I definitely feel like weaker or not as connected to the Lord as my life before. But I've read through the Bible, and all I have left is Revelation for this first time through. So as soon as I get done with this, I'm going to start Revelation, and I'm probably going to do the New Testament one more time, and then I'll go back and do the whole Bible again, and that'll kind of be my rotation. But anyway, spiritually, I don't know. I know I'm right where God wants. I know He's going to use this and is using this in huge ways that I don't even understand. So I'm good. But it's just not the same as like preaching every week and all that. That's for sure. So, yeah, thank you for asking. Thank you for your concern and prayers. And let's just keep it up. See what God does through all this. So, whew. There you have it. All right, I'm going to put the phone away and use 2 trekking poles to keep climbing. Although it's way easier slack packing than with a full pack. Slack packing is when you're not carrying a full load. You've left some of your gear somewhere, ahead or behind, with the intent of getting a ride or whatever back to where your gear is. So that's slack packing, and it's nice. Food and water, and that's about it. Where poor Cur Dog, he's got a full load. I offered to carry some of his gear, but he said no, he would carry it. So there you have it. All right, we'll catch you soon. Life is good, for sure. Life on the AT is good. And yesterday, I just didn't want to hike. I just didn't want to go, which is the first time. Today, I woke up and I was sore and stiff, but got going, got up, and I'm ready to hike. I'm definitely ready to go. So I'm glad for that. I'm glad that the family being here hasn't like distracted me or demoralized me to the point that I just want to go home or stay with them. You know, I'm definitely ready to keep hiking, and Halo would have it no other way. Like, if she felt like them being here would cause me to want to go home, then she would leave, and leave me here. She would strand me. That's the kind of woman she is, even though she's desperate, you know, for me to get back home. We just know we got to get this thing done first. So that's the way home, is through Katahdin. That's the plan. So, all right, guys, thanks for everything. Thanks for so much for everything. Bye. Hey, I want to show y'all something, and I am so thankful. Look at this trail. Trail maintainers, have come along here and literally weed eaten. I've taken a sickle or a scythe or something and knocked these weeds back on the side of the trail. Otherwise, this is what we'd be walking through. I don't know if I get down low, if you can tell how tall. The brush is about almost hip high on me. So we would be walking through that. But instead, some glorious Natural Bridge Appalachian Trail Club member has come through here and cut this stuff down. And it's been this way for a while. It's just been so steep, I haven't taken my camera out. But yeah, not only did they just do this, it's also on this big, you know, climb and stuff. And this is so nice. I mean, this is wonderful. I've got poison ivy all over my wrist, my right wrist. I've got some on my legs, little bits here and there. Because, I mean, you're walking through it like all the time. Your trekking poles are hitting it. And then you touch your poles and collapse them, or one falls down in the weeds and it gets on your handle or your strap. I mean, it's almost impossible to avoid. But boy, does this help. So, have you hugged your Appalachian Trail maintainer today? Because I think that's our goal. Every one of us needs to go find a maintainer and thank them. And I don't envy their job. I mean, it's got to be brutal. But this Natural Bridge Trail Club section is like probably the best maintained so far. I mean, they take this very seriously. It's incredible. They've got 90 miles to do. Miss Nancy, the lady I met the other day, she was a member, and she was out there working, and she was taking out like a little hump in the trail. She was working on that. I couldn't believe it, because there are literally millions of little humps, but she wanted that one gone, and more power to her. Anyway, just wanted to show you this. Climb's been going pretty well. It's been about an hour and 10 minutes. I've been climbing. And so, not sure how much further it is, but I don't think it's too much longer. But per my strategy, I will just pretend that it stretches all day long. And that way, whenever it does end, I'll be pleasantly surprised. Look at this. It's almost like a golf course. I mean, obviously not the rocks. But, yeah, the weeds. It's great. All right. Boy, it's so nice and cool. But I am just soaked in sweat from the climb. That's just who I am. Part of my DNA, I think. Alrighty, yeehaw. Made it up to Bald Knob. That's where I'm at right now. And as you can see, it is not bald. Not whatsoever. There are trees all over, but there was like a little view back there. You could, if it weren't foggy, you could see town, I guess, but it's foggy up here. And so, man, I mean, I am chilly. I stopped and sat on a log for a minute, and woo, I am very chilly. I'm wearing my typical shirt and t-shirt and shorts, and I am soaked in sweat and chilly. So I need to keep hiking to keep warm. Anyway, going across the top here of Bald Knob. So that's a nice little achievement. Took about an hour and 10, hour 15 to get up that climb, and it was pretty steep in places, but overall it was really not a bad climb at all, especially with a light pack and a fueled up tummy. I could see in the heat of the day and stuff that might be a bit of a bummer. But yeah, not bad, and I'm so thankful again for the trail maintainers. But hey, I got a question. Those of you gearheads out there, and those of you with a lot of backpacking experience, but especially with kids, I got a question for you. And what we're looking for, Halo and I, are looking for lightweight, high quality sleeping bags for Gigi and Poke. So we're looking for sleeping bags for an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, both of which are skinny and, small. But what they have right now are synthetic bags for kids from REI. And those bags are great. They definitely keep them warm enough. They're mummy bags, and they've got like a built-in stuff sack at the foot that you can cinch up the bottom of the bag in and make it smaller. Like for Poke, he's little bitty, and so we cinch that thing up and make the bag smaller so it'll keep him warmer. It has less volume inside to fill. So they're great bags. The problem is they're heavy. They're probably at or a little over 3 pounds a piece, and they're super bulky. And because that stuff sack's built in, it takes up extra room and weight, and then you can't really compress it down much smaller. It's just they're great for like car camping and possibly canoe camping, but they're not the best at all for backpacking. They almost take up, their whole backpack is like filled with their sleeping bag. Now, we would like to get again a real high quality, probably or down. I mean, I don't know which material to get. I would probably still lean towards synthetic if we could get a good one. That's very compressible and lightweight. I'm looking for something probably in the 40-degree range, 35. Wouldn't want to go much warmer than 45-degree range because a lot of times we camp in temperatures that get down that low, and I know those are just EN numbers, so believe me, I'm a gearhead. I get all that. I always add about 15 to mine for comfort, so my 20-degree bag, I know I'll be comfortable down around 35 or so. Those of you that are following know where I'm at on all that, but I'm looking for something in that 35ish to 40-degree type range for a kid. For small ones, or possibly like a women's or an adult that we could really. Anyway, you get the point. So some of you that may know or may have some thoughts on different brands out there, give us some ideas. I'd love to know what's available. And actually, this was Halo's idea, so it's her request. So help us out for that. That would be great. Thanks. Got a cool. The plan for today, by the way, the plan is for me to hike about 10 miles to, I think it's the 8. I'm picking up Pristine at the 816. Halo, there's a road crossing there, and like a Forest Service road, and Halo's going to meet us there and drop off Pristine, and Pristine's going to rock about 6 more with me tonight, this afternoon. So the plan is to do about 16 or 17, I think it is. 6 or 7 of which will be with Pristine, and the first 10 by myself. Pristine decided not to do the climb back there. Actually, I didn't want her to do it. I don't want her to have, a rough experience. I want her to have some easy days and get her feet wet and stuff, which yesterday, I don't know if I said it on the video or not, that 6.7 miles was literally like the nicest, most beautiful, easiest piece of the Appalachian Trail yet. It was the bomb diggity for a newbie to get out on. One little tiny climb at the end to get up to the road, and I mean it was like 10 or 15 minute little climb, just a little gentle one. Nice switchbacks, barely any rocks. It was just marvelous. And the whole time we walked along a beautiful stream with cascading waterfalls. The trail was wide, smooth, and dirt, and Beautiful footbridges. We went through that old settlement. I think is it Brown Mountain Creek, or I forget the name of that creek, but whatever that creek was, it was that whatever mountain settlement back in there. Such a neat story. Such cool. She got to see 5 deer in her first 6.7 miles. I went 200 miles before I saw my first deer. 200 miles. She sees 5. 5 in her first her first little stint. We were out for like 3 hours. I said, if you see a bear and I haven't yet, I'm going to drown you in that Brown Mountain Creek or whatever. I didn't really, but there would be a little part of my flesh that would probably like to do that. Anyway, yeah, so that's the plan. And the plan for tonight is to stay back at the campground. I call it Mont Bell, but it's Mont Bella. Those of you backpackers know Mont Bell makes like some of the most legit down stuff, sleeping bags and puffy coats and all. There's a Mont Bell pullover that I would love to have. It's a crazy light. It's like 6 ounces, and it's just got it's a pullover, so it's got like a quarter zip or a half zip, and it's got a place for both your hands to go. It's like a hooded sweatshirt basically, but it's down, and it's made by Mont Bell in black, probably in a large size. Even though right now I would probably do a medium or something smaller, but I want it to fit other times also. But anyway, Mont Bell, yeah, makes crazy light, high quality down stuff, and so I'm calling the campground Mont Bell. But it's anyway Mont Bella. So stay at Mont Bella campground again tonight, and get some showers in, get probably some laundry. Then tomorrow the whole fam is gonna park somewhere and backpack 1.5 miles up to a shelter, and then I will meet them there with probably Pristine will go with me, maybe H2O, and we're gonna meet them there at the shelter, because little Gigi, who it's almost her birthday, her 8th birthday, she wants to stay in a shelter so bad. So her and Daddy are going to stay in a shelter, and the rest of the family are going to set up a couple of our tents, and they'll tent camp there at the shelter. So we're all going to get a shelter experience together, which is super awesome. And then in Waynesboro, there's a hostel by a church. I think it's a Lutheran church. Maybe it's like St. Mark's. I'm not sure. Anyway, they have a hostel that has like no drugs, no alcohol, no cussing policy. They've got a lot of rules. And the rules, like one of the rules is you have to leave by 9 in the morning. So it's not a good place for partiers to just sit and hang out and be bad or whatever. So a perfect place for us to go. So maybe as a family, we'll go and stay at that hostel too. That'll be neat and fun. Hopefully, anyway, sounds like a neat plan. So that's kind of some of the rough ideas for the next few days. And let's see, I think that's it for now. We've got a plan of going to a Jellystone campground on Isabel's birthday, on Gigi's birthday. We're going to stay there because at the campground there's like a little mini water park. So there's like water slides and stuff like that. So that's the plan, is to, when we hike up there, is to go stay a couple days at that place. And that'll be fun. I hope the weather's warmer. I told Halo and everybody how hot it's been, so they didn't even bring like puffy coats or anything. They brought very little clothing, and here it is like 48 degrees this morning. Super chilly. My hands right now are a little chilly, which is awesome, by the way. But anyway, here they're cold, so Halo like commandeered my puffy jacket, and we all huddled around a fire last night for a little while, which felt amazing. And here the last time 2 times ago when they came out in Hot Springs, they only brought cold weather gear, and it was super hot, so they were like way overdressed, and now they're underdressed. Oops. Where I've got all my gear, I'm prepared for everything. I got down here to this gap, this beautiful wide open spot here. I think it's Cow Rock Gap. I'm not sure the name, but anyway, got to this gap, and it's so quiet. I could hear this murmuring and mumbling in the back of my pack, kind of this like complaining and grumbling, and sure enough, you might have guessed, it was my Pop-Tarts. They are tired of being carried, and they're like, man, disciple, would you please eat us? And I am such a nice guy. I want to take care of everybody, and so I'm doing as the Pop-Tarts wish, and I'm going to go ahead and eat them. So here goes. It's Pop-Tart time. It's 10 o'clock, and Concord, Bald Knob, and down here at whatever this gap is. And so here we go. Pop-Tart time. I'm going to wait on Cur-Dog, make sure he made it all right. He's so old and feeble. I worry about him and you know, getting like Alzheimer's or something on the trail and forgetting where he's at and going the wrong way and everything. So sometimes I stop and wait for him because I'm like this elite hiker, you know. I'm like, you guys know, I mean, I'm like a cougar just pounding down the trail like a cheetah after a gazelle chasing these white blazes down. And sometimes I can get miles, even days ahead of old timers like him. So yeah, I'll wait here for a while to make sure he's coming along maybe. And sisters, friends and family, we're up the mountain here a little ways, and guess who I just ran into? If you look there on the ground, I was trying to guess what type of weapon they were using, but there it is. So this is the man, or at least one of the men that are responsible for taking care of this trail that I've been bragging on all morning. So why don't you tell us who you are and where you're from real quick?
My name is Norman, and I live here in Amherst County, Virginia, and this is where we are. The trail, part of this trail is in Amherst County. And I belong to the Natural Bridge Appalachian Trail Club, and we maintain 90 miles of trail from Black Horse Gap to the Tye River in Nelson County.
Very nice. Well, I
cutting weeds today.
Told you that I've been telling the camera all morning how great this trail was, and it's so neat to get to meet you and see your weapon of choice there on the ground. So perfect. Well, thank you very much for all the thru hikers and everybody for all your guys' work.
You're quite welcome. We enjoy doing it.
All right. Well,
to do it.
God bless you. Thanks. Oh yeah, look at what I get to hike through today. Look at this. Going across this big old bald, and yeah, I got just a little too low to see the beautiful mountains over there, but you know, I should have got the camera out quicker. But look at this. Not many times do you get to hike in such a beautiful spot, and it's been a while since we've had a kind of a bald ridge like this, or saddle with the gorgeous mountains on both sides. The kids are, sorry about the camera work, but I'm going to keep hiking. I want to meet Halo and Pristine and finish the day out so I can go back to camp with the family and maybe even fish a little bit, but get laundry done and stuff like that. So yeah, but anyway, while in the meantime I'm hiking through this. This is awesome. Boy, sorry about the camera work. I'm trying to hold it as still as I can and keep walking. But H2O, he especially just loves the mountains. He just is blown away by them, and I'm glad that he can appreciate you know, God's creation, the beauty surrounding us. All right, I had to stop here for a moment and just take in and then also share with you guys this remarkable view. I don't know what this spot necessarily is called, but it is sure neat. Wish it was a little clearer out. You could see even further. Hopefully that means something to you out there, because it is beautiful. But also I stopped and made a new friend sitting here, so thought I'd let him introduce himself real quick and tell us who you are, where you're from.
Hi, my name is Justin. I'm from New York.
And what's your trail name?
And my trail name is Zero Hero, because I was accused of taking far too many zeros. And so we got a big laugh. It always gets a big laugh. And but I'm through hiking, and along with Disciple here, and just enjoying the view here for a second, taking a little lunch break. And it's awesome out here. It's life-changing.
Very good. And did you say where you're from?
New York.
New York, okay.
Poughkeepsie area.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, we've been sitting here talking about, yeah, literally life-changing the trail is.
Yes.
So we're kind of bemoaning maybe going back to normal life eventually. We don't know what that's going to be like. Well, thanks, and nice to meet you, Zero Hero.
All right.
All right, I don't know if you can tell in the video, that is a crazy cool tree. Got weird twists and knots. So Pristine and I, it's now 4:45, and Pristine and I, there's all kinds of stuff going on up here, have left the Appalachian Trail. Well, that's like a telephone box. Anyway, we've walked down Spy Rock Road for a while, and now we are trying to make our way to where Halo is going to meet us. which is at a parking area not far from Montebello campground, but halfway between where we left the AT and the campground. So she's going to save us like a mile and a half walk. But we're not sure exactly how to get there. We were taking Spy Rock Road, turn left, then to go down to a Blue Blaze Trail to the right. Well, this looks like a lot more than a Blue Blaze Trail, but it is a road with a big old tree across it. I hope it doesn't come down while I'm underneath it, or anybody else for that matter. Anyway, so we have turned right and are heading down this whatever trail. The worst part is every step I take down this bad boy, that means I have to climb back up it in the morning. And then tomorrow I'm looking at 19 miles after like a mile and a half uphill rocky road walk. So we'll see how this all works out as the world turns on the Appalachian Trail. So the hike this afternoon, really all day, has been actually pretty pleasant. Not bad. Had some pretty good uphills and some decent little rock sections, but I would call it very typical Appalachian Trail terrain so far. Everything feels pretty good and stuff's going well. Got to the road where we met Halo and Pristine, and they told me about the Jeep ride they had to have to get back there. Luckily we have a four-wheel drive truck, and they went over and through and around some pretty rough stuff to get there, but got Pristine delivered, and so we have now hiked, well, back there it was like 6.5 miles or whatever, so now we'll have a little over 7 miles, I'm sure, by the time we get down here to the parking area. And Pristine got a better taste today of kind of what the Appalachian Trail's like generally. There's the blaze we're following, so I'm very confident we're on the right trail. Anyway, yeah, we'll see how she fares this evening and tomorrow, if her body is still holding up well or whatever. And tomorrow we're gonna, like I said before, go to a shelter that's quite a ways from here, but 1.5 off of a parking area where the kids can park and walk up. So, yep, life is good, and the day has been very cool and pleasant, almost kind of like overcast and kind of damp out. It's very nice hiking weather. So thankful for that. All right, I'll show you maybe a little later on kind of where we're at and what's going. So stay tuned. All right, here is a luxurious campfire. Oh, and it's chilly, especially when you're done hiking, and yeah, very nice campfire. And here are our larger tents. That is a Big Agnes Jackrabbit 4-person tent that our friends Jimmy and Andrea are buying from us. And that over there is my favorite tent of all. That is my MSR Mother Hubba. So it's a 3-person tent there. I'm not sure who that little monkey is. Anyway, this is our base camp here, where we've been staying yesterday and today, or well, they stayed today and where we're spending the night. So we will be leaving out of here in the morning. But anyway, this is the whole crew sitting around eating supper and dessert, and for me, second supper and third supper. What'd you think of your second day on the AT, Pristine?
We're gonna sleep in
Wow, you should consider a career in color commentary.
Disciple.
Amazing.
Disciple.
It's real hard on the
We're
shins.
sleeping in a shelter tomorrow night.
Okay, what are we doing?
We're going to sleep in a shelter tomorrow night.
Yay!
And tonight I'm going to be like a seal. You guys.
Like a seal?
Yes, because I'm barking. Who's
All right.
recording?
All right, let's cut it.
Who's recording? Was hiking.
So,
a seal.
what Pristine lacked in conversation, you guys made up for. All right, let me stop the video. Thanks for coming along with me.
And bye-bye.
All you guys out there, you got anything to say there, Halo?
Good night.
Good night, good night, good night, good night.
All right.
Good night, good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
We'll
good
see
night,
you
good
tomorrow.
night. And we're gonna